A.1. What is anarchism? Anarchism is a political theory which aims to create anarchy, open quote, the absence of a master, of a sovereign, end quote. In other words, anarchism is a political theory which aims to create a society within which individuals freely cooperate together as equals. As such, anarchism opposes all forms of hierarchical control, be that control by the state or a capitalist, as harmful to the individual and their individuality, as well as unnecessary. In the words of anarchist L. Susan Brown, open quote, "While the popular understanding of anarchism is of a violent anti-state movement, anarchism is a much more subtle and nuanced tradition than a simple opposition to government power. Anarchists oppose the idea that power and domination are necessary for society and instead advocate for more cooperative, anti-hierarchical forms of social, political, and economic organization." End quote. However, anarchism and anarchy are undoubtedly the most misrepresented ideas in political theory. Generally, the words are used to mean chaos or without order, and so, by implication, anarchists desire social chaos and a return to the laws of the jungle. This process of misrepresentation is not without historical parallel. For example, in countries which have considered government by one person, monarchy, necessary, the words republic or democracy have been used precisely like anarchy, to imply disorder and confusion. Those with a vested interest in preserving the status quo will obviously wish to imply that opposition to the current system cannot work in practice, and that a new form of society will only lead to chaos. Or, as Enrico Malatesta expresses it, open quote, "Since it was thought that government was necessary and that without government there could only be disorder and confusion, it was natural and logical that anarchy, which means absence of government, should sound like absence of order." End quote. Anarchists want to change this quote-unquote common sense idea of anarchy, so people will see that government and other hierarchical social relationships are both harmful and unnecessary. Open quote. Change opinion, convince the public that government is not only unnecessary, but extremely harmful, and then the word anarchy, just because it means absence of government, will come to mean for everybody natural order, unity of human needs and in the interests of all, complete freedom within complete solidarity. End quote. This FAQ is part of the process of changing the commonly held ideas regarding anarchism and the meaning of anarchy, but that is not all. As well as combating the distortions produced by the common sense idea of anarchy, we also have to combat the distortions that anarchism and anarchists have been subjected to over the years by our political and social enemies. For, as Bartolomeo Vanzetti put it, anarchists are, open quote, "the radical of the radical, the black cats, the terrors of many, of all the bigots, exploiters, charlatans, fakers, and oppressors. Consequently, we are also the more slandered, misrepresented, misunderstood, and persecuted of all." End quote. Vanzetti knew what he was talking about. He and his comrade Nicolas Sacco were framed by the US state for a crime they did not commit and were, effectively, electrocuted for being foreign anarchists in 1927. So this FAQ will have to spend some time correcting the slanders and distortions that anarchists have been subjected to by the capitalist media, politicians, ideologues, and bosses, not to mention the distortions by our erstwhile fellow radicals like liberals and Marxists. Hopefully, once we are finished, you will understand why those in power have spent so much time attacking anarchism. It is the one idea which can effectively ensure liberty for all and end all systems based on a few having power over the many.